Radiohead has an interesting history with the Bond film franchise. You might say it's bad luck, you might say it's troubled even. But one thing is for certain, we missed out on probably what could have been the perfect Bond theme. Oh. I love that someone re-edited this with Radiohead. Oh, the strings are so good.
I'm lost, I'm a ghost, dispossessed, taken lost. My hunger burns.
Let's go.
Bullet hole, Spectre.
It's so perfect. Look at this. Okay, before we just straight up listen to the whole thing, we got to actually talk about what this is and how it's constructed, because yet again, it's another absolutely brilliant Radiohead composition, as one would expect. So this was Radiohead's submission for the 2015 Bond film Spectre, and it was rejected, instead using Sam Smith's, whatever that one was called. What was it? I think it's Writings on the Wall. Fine, I guess. But I mean, this is kind of objectively so much better. There's a bunch of different stories as to what happened. I mean, you'll read things like they submitted it too late. You'll read things like the producers thought it was too dark. I forget if it was Tom York or anybody specific in Radiohead seemed to think it was kind of just politics. So whatever that means, it wasn't selected, and we all suffered for it. Because this song is just so sick. Let's take a look at it quickly before we dive further into what actually ended up happening and why they may have actually been late on submitting this. So this is written in 3/4. Now, it's a swung 3/4, which means the eighth note, you're not going to get like 1, 2, and 3, and 1, and 2, and 3, and we're going to get this swing feel that allows that dotted quarter to really feel like the powerful driving force. And what I mean by that is, if the tempo is just simply 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, what we're going to get is we're going to get that dotted quarter, which is going to split the measure in half. But when we're using a swung eighth note, that dotted quarter doesn't, it winds up feeling a little bit relaxed. 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and you kind of feel it like it sort of leans a little bit behind the beat, and it just feels really relaxed. And I love that as sort of the feel for this whole thing. Now the whole thing starts on G major 7. We get G major 7 switching to E minor 9. E minor 9 because the major 7th of G becomes the 9th of E minor. But notice how we can literally just play the same chord and just move the bass note, and that's exactly the sound we want. What a great feel there. And now we get the release into the first verse. Interesting. Okay, so we're actually doing kind of the same thing as we were in the intro. So in the intro, we play our chord and then we go to the relative minor of that chord, okay? From G major to E minor. Now when we start the verse, we finally release and we discover, oh, okay, we are in the key of D major, right? And we hear D major, eventually turns to D major 7, but then we go to the B minor, which is D's relative minor. So we did this in the intro, from the major to the relative minor, and then we do it right here in the verse, from the major to the relative minor. Nice little touch. And then we do the same thing as we hear in the intro, but now as part of the verse. Listen to this.
My hunger burns. The bullet
That's that same G major to E minor.
Spectre.
We're gonna do it again.
My mortal soul.
There's our D major. Down to D major 7. B minor. Now, something really nice that's happening in there is as we sit on that B minor chord, where our inner voice movement, I'm hearing in the strings, we're moving down. That's such a nice inner voice movement. And then that leads us back to the G major, E minor, back to G major, E minor. We're gonna keep building that, keep building it up, switching back and forth from the major to the minor, and then once we get to the peak of that, Wow, okay, so let's take a look at this section because this is just like insane. So when we get to the section we have marked here as C. Now, here's what's really interesting right out of the gate. I feel like this is a B major chord, which is interesting because the melody is a minor third. But something about that for me just feels very Bond coded. You know what I mean? A lot of that chromatic, sort of ambiguous, mysterious kind of sound. I think that this chord, hearing a B major chord, but hearing especially the way that it's voiced in the strings, to me, that is like the Bond moment. That's the moment we hear it and we say, oh, there's this unique quality about it that just feels like a Bond theme. I will tell you, we went back and forth when we were writing out this chart to figure out what are the next two chords. Because if you look this up and you try to find sheet music of it, you'll actually find different things written here. First I'll show you how we wrote it, and then we'll go back and listen, and we'll see if we're correct here. We wrote it as So that's how we wrote it, right? Now, let's listen because it's hard, it's a little hard to hear. That's definitely the string melody. Yeah, I think I'm hearing something like an F. I can definitely hear that D in there. Like that's the chord that we wind up on before we go back to, which makes total sense for this type of thing. Is that it? I mean, we did write it that way because we were really hearing it that way. So I think that we get this movement from B to like an F major sound, right? Whether we've got the 6 in there. I'm not sure if the major 7th is in there or what. Might be like a 6-9 chord. 6-9 and then G major. I mean, that to me sounds super cool. really think that's what it is, and that is so sick. Okay, and then that's really cool. So if we're going to that F major, then we go down to the E, and we get our verse again. How cool of a transition is that? Oh, what a beautiful melody, too. Woo! Wait a minute. Hold on. Listen. Do you hear that note in there? Oh, I think there was definitely... Oh, that is so sick. Okay, it's just like an inner voice movement, so it's maybe a subtle thing, but it's definitely in there. This is just such a gorgeous theme, and I think it's so perfect for a Bond film. We got robbed! But if it's because it was late, then the reason, because of Man of War. Man of War is a song that Radiohead wrote in the 90s. It was going to be on OK Computer, but they wound up abandoning it. It ended up being released in 2017 because not only had they toured with it a little bit in the 90s, and then they kind of, didn't do much with it for a long time. But in 2015, when they went to submit for Spectre, the first thing they submitted was Man of War. And it was rejected on the basis that if they use a song that wasn't written for the film, it's not eligible for an Academy Award. Oh boy. Oh, and that song would have been sick too. Let's listen to that one a little bit. Dig this. This is so sick because it was specifically written as an homage to Bond themes. Just in the intro alone, there's so much stuff going on that is like very clearly like, oh yeah, of course this was meant to be kind of a Bond theme. What a beautiful intro. To me, that intro right there is everything you need to know that this was meant to be a Bond theme, right? Because we have a couple of different things going on. First of all, we have this. Which is like, it's like another version of you know what I mean? Like it does the same thing. It's taking a note, moving it up chromatically. It's the same exact function, really. Something about that too also feels very Bond coded to me for some reason, but I can't quite put my finger on exactly why. And this gets even cooler when you introduce the bass. Implications there. We have this, clearly A minor. Then what is this? Could it be a B7 flat 9? I don't know, maybe. This one's an interesting one because I feel like even though everything here is like telling us like is it some type of C chord with major seventh, I don't think it is. I don't think that is the root. That's clearly like an F sharp dominant. I mean, there's so many cool things going on here, and we haven't even gotten into the melody. We could have had this. If it wasn't going to be Spectre, it at least could have been this, but no. F F sharp in the bass. Yeah.
Drift are you like?
It's a Bond theme. That's just what it is, right? So here, yeah. I love how there's also now we're compounding upon that by using the root note. That answers my question from earlier. Right? Because in the intro we said clearly A minor. Boy, that doesn't answer that one though. Not sure on that one, but the next one, this is gonna be F major. Now, there's nothing really in the intro that tells us that, but I think that's probably what it was meant to be. But man, very, very simple for the chord progression itself, and that actually carries on pretty much through the entire song. There's a little bit of an interlude somewhere, but man, that's most of it. And then like we just get this absolutely sick melody, and just the vibe of this in general is so perfect for a Bond intro.
It's the whole world, a drunken
Down to
confession.
D7 over F sharp.
Hijacked a fate.
Drop the F sharp down, it becomes F major.
Just make
Right back up.
you more alone. When you
And it just continues on. This is a really cool video too, by the way. The whole swapping back and forth. Look at the shadow. That's sick. Like that. Ooh, somebody coming up behind. Uh-oh. Really, really neat. I've been listening to Spectre recently, and then I found out about Manowar. I didn't know about that. I knew that Radiohead had done a Bond theme that was rejected, but I didn't know the whole backstory. And then I discovered Manowar, and man, of war. Sorry, I never will do that again. Anyways, yeah, I just want to talk about this because it is just so sick, and we got so robbed of maybe the perfect Bond theme of all time. But I want to know from you in the comments, what is your favorite Bond theme? Maybe you liked the Sam Smith version. I don't know. Maybe you're wrong. But that's okay. We'll keep talking about stuff like this, and that's fine. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Month of Music, and we will see you back here tomorrow.